Hello and welcome back to another Stonksy video. Today we're going to be looking at KCEX again and obviously looking at opening a trade, the different obviously conditions that you can do on this exchange. Obviously probably very similar to what you're used to unless you're a first time crypto user. Then obviously welcome to the channel. Make sure you make your way through the videos and the content, and of course welcome to Stonksy. Link is in the description to join the Stonksy plan if you want to know more about that. Loads of information on the channel and of course in the live streams that I do daily. But yeah, we're going to be looking at KCEX again today, opening a trade, managing a trade and closing it. Obviously just getting a feeler for obviously the exchange itself and any differences that you'll have on this compared to others. Good thing to mention is obviously if you missed the first video, make sure you go back and watch it. I did a full sign up and deposit tutorial, so a full video on that and obviously an introduction to the platform, but also it is non-KYC, so if you haven't watched that video, good thing to note obviously while watching this is it is fully non-KYC from account creation to deposit, withdrawal and obviously trading, all under non-KYC. So yeah, we'll be taking a look at this today. Make sure you do drop a like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. So obviously we are currently on the futures section of the exchange. As you can see, you can flick through. They do USDT and USDC futures, but of course we're on Bitcoin at the moment, but there's all sorts of categories you can go through. Just flick through if you want, but depending on obviously what you like to trade, it's all on here for you to do. Non-KYC, of course, like I mentioned. Yeah, currently we're on Bitcoin, and as you can see, it's probably very similar. Like I said at the start, unless you're completely new to trading in cryptocurrency, you are probably someone that has used maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even a handful or more exchanges. So the actual setup and obviously the buttons on it and everything is probably similar to many others that you've used. But of course, standard, you've got the toggle for isolated or cross margin. You've obviously got the toggle for the amount of leverage that you'll be using. You've of course got the limit section if you want to place a limit order, how much of your margin you want to use in that. Of course, we've got market order too to open it straight away, and you've got trigger. So trigger price, limit order, and then your quantity of USDT. Now obviously on all of these can also set your take profit and stop loss, and of course slide across how much margin you want to use. Currently we've got 145.1 USDT, so that is what we deposited in the exchange on that first video. But yeah, obviously we've got Bitcoin loaded up. So obviously for this video we're just going to be running through obviously opening a trade, what it looks like on the exchange when it's open, what you can do in terms of managing the trade, and then obviously closing it. So for this video we're obviously just we're not aiming to make any money in this or anything, so let's just put it on 2x. Obviously what you can do here is obviously apply to all futures trades, because obviously mistakes can be made, and if you don't, if you're not paying attention, you could potentially open a high leverage trade if not. So that's a good feature to have, because obviously if you always have that ticked on, your margin for error is obviously less. So yeah, let's obviously just do a market order. We will do 100% of Bitcoin, and obviously you can see that gives us a max short or max long position size of 280.9 USDT. So obviously we've got the take profit and stop loss in, so you can put them in here. But obviously if you go to advanced, what you can do for both long and short is obviously put these in, and then it'll give you your expected P&L return in terms of USDT and percentage, but also your stop loss. So say let's put in here, what are we at, 117, so let's put 116. So there you can see obviously it will give you what you would make as a USDT and percentage for getting to that take profit, and of course your stop loss. This is always a good thing to do. I personally like going on to the advanced setting because I like to know and see it in stone exactly obviously what you're setting, so you just know exactly what you're risking in terms of stop loss, and of course what you're potentially making if the trade goes your way. So let's just confirm then. We will do a long while Bitcoin has had a pump up after FOMC. We will confirm that. So that's in there, as you can see, they're now in there themselves. So when you do, of course, obviously open that, they won't come up. So go into your advanced settings if you do want to see that. Now, of course, as well, what it will give you is obviously the estimated liquidation price. So potentially if you're someone that maybe likes to trade with smaller size and maybe do high leverage trades, maybe you're someone that likes to maybe pick a low cap altcoin, or maybe a slightly more illiquid altcoin, and maybe you apply a small amount of margin and maybe take it as a boom or bust trade, whatever it may be. But also obviously it's good to take note of your estimated liquidation price just in case you are trading without a stop loss. Of course, having a stop loss is a good risk management procedure, but obviously not everyone does. People have different ways of trading, and that obviously is what makes a market. But as you can see here, it does give our estimated liquidation price for opening a long and of course a short, and of course just confirms the fees there. If you hover over that, it does tell you exactly obviously what is a maker fee, what is a taker fee, and of course we run at 0% maker and 0.01% taker. So here we go, let's open a long. And just to confirm, obviously it confirms everything nicely there, the margin used, the position size with the leverage, liquidation and take profit and stop loss, and you can obviously turn this off if you want to by ticking that. But let's open it. And I don't know if you heard that, but what this exchange does do is obviously make some pretty nice noises when you're opening positions and all good stuff like that. So as you can see on our screen at the moment, you've got obviously where we bought in, you've got the little B, you've got the line for where we bought in. It does show you your P&L there, your position size. It has also got the stop loss, and if we zoom out a bit. So what I just did then was I switched over to trading view, because when I was on the original, I was finding that I couldn't zoom out high enough without obviously the chart going all weird. So I just clicked onto here, the trading view tab, and of course there we go. So now I can see obviously the take profit. So obviously you can zoom in and out as much as you want on that, and there we go. So we've got the same as we was looking at. You've got your entry line, you've got your take profit, you've got your stop loss, and yeah, that is all in there. So you can actually switch over to these, whichever one you prefer, whether it be trading view, original, and of course you can mess around with the settings if that is something that you want to do. Of course you can turn these off as well if you want to get rid of any lines or whatever. Of course you can do that, but that's what it looks like on the chart. And of course we've got our open position here, we've got our open order, because obviously this is the take profit and stop loss that is preset in here. Of course then what you can do is scroll across the position history, the order history, capital flow, asset list, and all that good stuff. Give you a full breakdown of your account and the orders that you've done and the positions that you've had open or still got open. So of course we're on here now. What you can do is obviously edit the margin. So you can add margin. Obviously that will lower your liquidation price if you're someone that's trading with high leverage, and maybe you need to add more margin in to pull down your liquidation. And you can reduce margin of course as well if you've got excess margin in there. It'll give you unrealized P&L, your realized P&L, which is obviously the trading fee, and of course all the other good stuff. So you can manage your take profit and stop loss, and of course closing. So that is all in there. And as you probably notice, it is obviously very similar to other exchanges. So that's the trade open now. So yeah, we could leave that open, we could let it run, whatever, but what I will do is obviously show you the closing of the trade. So we can either do close all. Now obviously bear in mind, if you've got more than one position open, if you do close all, that would close all the active trades that you've got open. Something to be wary of is the reverse button, because some people tend to think that if you are in a really losing trade, say you've entered at the wrong time or you didn't think a trade through, then you hit this reverse button and it will automatically just get you out of that trade. That's not what it is. If you hit this reverse button like we'll do now, it will just close the current trade that's open and open a new one. So if we do reverse, as you can see, it goes direction from long to short, and it will open it with the same position size as well. So if we do confirm on that, as you can see, it's popped up all along here. But what we've essentially done there is obviously close that Bitcoin long that we had on and opened the short instead. So whatever unrealized P&L that you've got, whether it be positive or negative, that will be locked in and obviously taken out of your margin or added into your margin to your futures account. And then of course it just switches to the opposite direction. So this works for both longs and shorts. You can reverse any, but as you can see, we've got this on here. Something to note is of course we've now got no take profit or stop loss in as well, because obviously it's the opposite trade. So what we'll do then to just close this is you can go last price or market. We will go market, and we've got 100%, and if we go close short, then that will close now this short for us after swapping over. And there we go, that is done. So that's a great run through on obviously opening a trade, managing a trade, hitting the reverse button, obviously just clearing that up, because it's something I've found some people ask me in a live stream time to time, what is reverse? And of course if you don't fully understand that, it could be a bit of a sticky situation if you're trying to get out of a losing position thinking that it will take that away, which it won't. But yeah, that is obviously KCEX, the platform, and of course the trading portal. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and of course that link is in the description to join KCEX on the Stonksy link, and obviously show the channel support, and of course grab yourself some great bonuses and create your non-KYC account. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.